Frenzy Highlights, brought to you by CMSC Driving School, offering flexible scheduling for classroom and road lessons at 6 Central Mass locations. Online at centralmasssafety.org.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Cariglio and Bay State Savings Bank.
Coming up next on the state finals football frenzy, Valley Tech looks to finish the season as state champs as the Beavers face St. Mary's. Nipmuc goes for the D5 title as the Warriors battle Situate. Nashoba is back at Gillette. The Chieftains face Dighton Rehoboth. And the fancy pundits are back with their thoughts on the 2018 season. It's the last frenzy of the season. Where has the time gone? The frenzy begins right now.
They're absolute fighters. They never gave up. They gave us everything they had, which is all we can ask of them. And I'm so proud of these guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to State Championship Saturday and the last frenzy of the year. Hard to believe. Kevin Shea, Andy Lacombe, we wrap it up, but we'll tell you this. What a great weekend. State Championships at Gillette. 4 Central Mass teams going in between last night and today. 3-1 record. That is really good.
Pretty solid. Central Mass, if you really break down all the regions, and really there's one region that seems to win a ton, and that's the South out east. But Central Mass is right there, competitive with everybody else, and dominant in some cases as well.
Tom Flanagan says they play football even where the Dragons
That's
are,
right.
out here in Central Mass, west of 495. Imagine
That's right.
that.
You know what? When you play in Central Mass, you take some heat. Maybe you take it on social media. Maybe you take it from opposing coaches.
Maybe
you
the pundits
take it from the fancy pundits. Blackstone Valley Tech, they say they've taken some heat. So here they go. Back-to-back appearances in the state championship game this year. It's St. Mary's of Lynn, the opponent for the Fighting Beavers. First quarter, Beavers on the board first. J.D. Antaya, the power run to the end zone. 6-0, Blackstone Valley Tech. Second quarter, Antaya, he had 103 yards on the ground. He cuts to the outside here. This was a long one. Rumbling to the exterior, down to the 17-yard line. Second quarter still, it's 4th and goal. Scott McKay, naked bootleg. Sean Grady said it reminded him of Steve Grogan.
Oh, I like that. Grogan was the best at that.
12-0 BVT at the half. Third quarter, it's McKay running well. Big first down yardage here, down to the St. Mary's 13-yard line. A few plays later, McKay calling his own number. Touchdown run. McKay had 123 yards rushing, a couple of touchdowns. It's 18-0 BVT. That big line doing the job. Fourth quarter, St. Mary's threatening. 4th and goal. Aiden Fitzgerald, Connor Christensen, John Warren combining on a big stop. Turnover on downs, and then BVT runs out the clock to win the D7 state championship. Just like Rocky and Rocky II, the Beavers are champions.
We've been saying this all year. We've been saying this all year that we're going to win the state championship, and here we are. It's won, it's ours. Like, we're happy to bring it home to Upton.
It's just a culmination of all the hard work. I'm just happy, sad that it's over, but happy the way it ended like it ended.
The loss to Millbury hurt us bad, but what Coach Art said to us, the I don't care tour starts now, and this is what happens when you mess with the BVT Beavers.
St. Mary's is a good team, and we were just the better team today.
All right, so the Beavers can celebrate, and they should. And our Brenna Wilson, after some of the celebration, caught up with the head coach, Jim Archibald.
Coach, what does it mean to get the state title this year?
This is amazing. This is what we've worked for from day one. We've been very vocal about this. We've taken our jabs from people on on social media and all that stuff, but this is why we do what we do. These kids, I can't say enough about these kids. They're amazing. It's an unbelievable feeling, and they deserve every bit of this. This is such a good group of kids. They're so selfless. They play the game the right way, and it's just a pleasure to be able to coach them. And we're just so proud. That article on the Dubzinski family yesterday, I keep saying it, put the emphasis on the kids. This is all about them. They're unbelievable, and we couldn't ask for more from these guys.
Yeah, going off that, your senior class, what does it mean to be able to send them out like this as well?
This senior class has put Blackstone Valley Tech football on the map. We're no longer just a tech school that can't win. I mean, we're state champions now. We beat some good teams. We beat some public school teams, and they have changed the way people look at Blackstone Valley Tech. When people say Blackstone Valley Tech now, they're going to think of the football program, and that's a testament to those kids. They bought into this from day one. From day one as freshmen, they bought into what we wanted to do. They're just, I can't say enough, they're unbelievable kids, and just to be able to, like I said, 100 years from now, that banner's still going to be hanging in the school. Those rings are going to probably be in the caskets with us. No one's ever going to be able to take this away from us. It's unbelievable.
Outstanding. Archie is the best. Nothing better than that, and that's right. The rings will be still with him. D5, it's Nipmuc taking on Scituate beneath the banners. Second quarter, 7-0 Sailors. Aiden Sullivan. Beautiful spin move to get away from the tackler. Hits Nathan Gould. They have a Nathan Gould, too. Yeah. In the corner of the end zone, it's 14-0 Scituate. Sullivan then dumping it off to Will Shesky. Shesky making a bunch of guys miss. And then breaking some tackles and breaking away. Shesky taking it all the way in for the touchdown. 21-0 Scituate. Shesky had 206 yards rushing. He had one heck of a day. Also caught a couple passes as well for 78 yards. Now Nipmuc answering. Judah Dishington to Matthew Richards. Hauls it in for the touchdown. Here come the Warriors on the conversion. It's the Nathan Gould that we know. Gould fires back, hits Richards. Richards, nice move in for the 2-point conversion. It's 21-8. Now, third quarter, Scituate offense rolling. Sullivan hitting Max Roach for the touchdown, 28-8 Sailors. Fourth quarter, Nipmuc not going away. Dishington hits Samuel Hilton. Hilton, beautiful corner route. Keeps both feet in bounds. Next play, Dishington to Hilton. Hilton, juggling catch for the touchdown. Beautiful concentration from Hilton. Makes it 35-14. But Scituate is your state champions, ending a great season for the Warriors.
Proud as heck of them, and that's all I can say. I mean, you make it here, you're either going to win it or you're going to lose it. But to be honest with you, our kids are winners. We've been up against it all year long with injuries and all sorts of things. And, you know, a team that's playing football for 16 years, to be doing what we've been doing the last 4 years is pretty impressive.
All right, well, looking at the Nipmuc game, first of all, a lot of this coming down to fourth down conversions. First of all, that Scituate team was absolutely outstanding. Their offense is so talented. But when you look at just a couple plays, this game was a lot closer than it appeared to be. Twice in the first half, Nipmuc was stopped on fourth down. And then in the third quarter, their opening drive of the third quarter, they were driving, moving along. They got stopped on fourth down again. You got to tip your hat to Scituate. That's a great team who made some big plays. But remember, with one or two plays going differently in Nipmuc's favor, much different ball game. But congratulations to the Warriors and Coach Hill on one heck of a season. And again, being Central Mass champions for that many years in a row, that's a dynasty. It's a Central Mass dynasty. You may not get a state championship, but years ago when it was just the Central Mass Super Bowl, everyone would be talking about Nipmuc as a dynasty.
You're the power program to beat in Division 5 in Central Mass, no question about it. Quickly, St. Mary's of Lynn only had 75 total offensive yards. That defense, Jordan Amaro, Ethan Blake, J.D. Antea of Blackstone Valley Tech, and the great Dan Dini, they got it done. They got it done today. Certainly, Blackstone Valley Tech champions and well-deserved state champions.
And they had a huge goal line stand, too, in the second half of that game, the fourth quarter, to make sure that they would get that shutout. So the Beavers, well-deserved and a hard-earned shutout state championship victory. Plenty more to come on our state championship frenzy. Stay with us.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is brought to you by Unibank, The Sullivan Group, Pucci's Fine Jewelry, Milford Federal, the Central Mass Safety Council, Harrington Physician Services, Nichols College, and Berterra Nissan of Auburn.
All right, a couple other state championship games involving our local squad. St. Bernard's has had one heck of a year. Yeah. Tiniest school at Gillette Stadium of any of the games, but played a big-time schedule this year and got better because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Played teams like Nipmuc and, Leominster and won some big games.
Yeah, they certainly did. Fitchburg as well. D8 state final at St. Bernard's. Pope John of Everett. Early on, Pope John up 6-0. Not for long, though. Xavier Marty with a huge hole. He gets the end zone. 8-6 Bernardians, second quarter.
480 and slip on Leominster.
More Bernardians. Dominic Cuevas rolls out, cuts it up, breaks the plane after the conversion. St. Bernard's up 16-14 at the half. Third quarter. Cuevas keeping the play alive. Hits Walter Morales Jr. And Morales hits the gas. He's gone for the touchdown. St. Bernard's up 24-14. Now in the fourth, Marty showing off the athletic ability, hurdles a would-be tackler, stays on his feet. What a sensational first down for the Bernardians.
That was like a 5-foot broad jump.
And the Bernardians, that was Willie Galt, old school. Capping the drive, Marty gets to the outside. Land of 6. Bernardians up 32-20. More from St. Bernard's. Morales, great blocking up front. North-south running, 3 yards for the touchdown. Bernardians up 38-28. St. Bernard's looking to ice the game, and they call on Morales. He gets the first down and a lot more. 36 yards for the junior for the touchdown. St. Bernard's gets the state championship 46-35.
First day of practice, we told Coach state championship. You know what? We delivered it for the 2015s that made it, the 2016s and 2017. This is for everyone who's wearing an STB jersey. This is for all those people.
We got back this year. We felt like we had a special bond going up to camp, and everybody just put all they had into this last game, seniors' last game, and we just prevailed.
Friday night D4 state championship. Nashoba taking on Dighton Rehoboth. Seniors on this team were freshmen when the last state championship was delivered to Nashoba. Troy Barksdale, one of the seniors, picks it off in the first quarter when the Falcons were driving, and Nashoba has the ball back. They picked it off at the back of the 5-yard line. Second quarter, Nashoba, big play. Sam Belinsky, screen pass to Brendan Lee, and this is going to go 61 yards. Great block downfield. Big number 70 got one, and then he got one from Matty Johnson late. Down to the DR 15-yard line. This was the play, I think, that really opened up the gates in the offense, because here comes Alex Child's next play. Going into the land of 6. Josh Stamms, Matt Johnson with the blocks. 7-0. Nashoba. Next Chieftain drive. Belinsky with time, such poise, airing it out. Corner of the end zone. Will Danby got a foot in. 14-0. Chieftains. On to the third quarter. Belinsky looking downfield. John Faunie's got a step. And he's loose for 49 yards deep into Dighton Rehoboth territory. Belinsky, 10 of 18, 250 yards passing. That led to a Child's field goal. It was 17-0 Nashoba. Nashoba third and long. Bag of tricks. Halfback option pass. Barksdale to Danby. 36-yard touchdown. Barksdale had a pick. He threw for a touchdown. Caught a big pass in the game. Doing it all. Fourth quarter, Childs, 74 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. Power run closes it out, 31-0 Nashoba. They are the D4 state champions again.
So good. It's so good. We thought we could get it last year, but we didn't. And getting it this year was everything in the world.
It's something that we all dreamed about. I definitely thought that, as a team, we came together today and played a great game. I can't say enough about both sides of the ball. Our offense has definitely been rolling, and it feels great. It feels amazing.
This is just amazing. I'm so proud of these guys, so happy. They work so hard, and just to come through there is just amazing.
All right, congratulations to Nashoba. Now, Jamie Tucker's done such a great job with that team. And, following his dad's footsteps, a coaching legacy, that's a proud moment. He got to hug his dad on the field. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, you know what? Sam Belinsky, what a leader. Coming off that injury in last year's game. This kid is a big-time player, and the more you talk to him, the more you like him. If he plays at the next level, they're getting somebody good.
And Don Valera, I love what he said about St. Bernard's. We did this for everyone that's ever worn a St. Bernard's jersey. Class act. Plenty more of the frenzy to come.
The pundits were putting sweaters on.
And changing.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Carigula and Bay State Savings Bank.
All right, welcome back to Fancy Pundits one last time. Jim Wilson, Kevin Shea. We wrap up the season here on the final frenzy of the year. And Jim, as we look back on the 2018 season, maybe teams that weren't playing today at Gillette Stadium or this weekend at Gillette Stadium that maybe surprised you or impressed this year?
That weren't playing at Gillette?
That weren't there.
I think it was a good year because not only do we have like the regulars like Nashoba and Valley Tech and Nipmuc, which booked their tickets to Gillette in September. I think this was a good year to watch those programs that made the leap. Like Tantascwa, we had a great season. John Hargis did a great job with that team. They're finally rounding into form. They get some good players coming back, like Ryan Sears, and is back next year running the ball. That's going to help them so they continue on the path they did. Like Millbury, another team that made the league, made the playoffs. Burncoat's back in the playoffs. BMR had a big playoff win over Maynard. I mean, I think that's a good way for these programs to sort of say, listen to their coaches. What we've been telling you for the last 3 or 4 years, where we've been down out of the playoffs, it's working. And just keep the faith, keep lifting in the offseason. It's good things are going to happen.
Millbury 17 juniors that powered
right.
that class this past year, and they lost to Littleton in the playoffs, Kev.
It'll be good.
Teams that aren't at Gillette this weekend.
I like Prouty. I like the leap that Prouty made. They have tiny numbers, and that's never going to change. Their numbers probably go down in the school the next couple years, but they did a great job. They had some big wins. Early in the year, they got some big wins. I thought that program had a really good season. I thought Doherty did too. Doherty 9-2 again. They graduated a lot of linemen from last year's team. They graduated a lot of talent, and they just, they still had talent, obviously, but they put together some big wins. And, they were the #1 seed going into the playoffs. That was another good season for Sean Mulcahy's team, and him and his coaching staff deserve a lot of credit. And Assabet, another one that had a really good season and, was going toe-to-toe with the heavyweights in that division.
So this was the year to get St. John's, right? A lot
definitely.
of juniors and young guys coming back. Those seniors did a great job, and they won Central Massachusetts. So St. John's is coming back, fully loaded. Tantasco's got a lot of juniors.
Yeah.
Shepherd Hill has a lot of juniors. Anthony Orienti, their junior captain. Millbury, we already mentioned. There are a lot of teams poised to have big years that might be playing on this day a year from now.
Leominster's another one. I think
Leominster
Leominster, they're going to get a new coach.
Yep.
But Leominster's a team that has a lot of young guys, and they're a team that just got better and better with each week. And
they didn't have a bad loss all year.
And the last couple weeks of the season, they were rolling. And you're right. And I said it early in the year. Remember, we talked about them and said, this is not an 0-5 team. If you watch them play, they're much better. They just didn't have the depth early in the season to hang with the big teams. But, there's a lot of young kids in that program, and I think Leominster's going to be back.
And obviously great years, St. Bernard's, Nashoba, Nipmuc, and Blackstone Valley Tech. Blackstone Valley Tech, Arch had said it all along. You said it. They pretty much booked their tickets to Gillette in December of last year, ready to go, and kind of knew they were going to be in this position. But then the kids backed it up, and the coaches backed it up. Nashoba's always seems to be there. Is there one of these 4 teams that their trip to this point is most impressive, or
you know what, Nashoba? I think. I mean, we talked about them all year. I sort of jumped off the bandwagon a little bit towards the end when they sort of faltered, but they got right back. The same like Sam Belinsky, Division IV MVP. He's really one of the more underrated quarterbacks in Central Mass. He's done the job every week. He doesn't put up the flashy numbers like a Colin Schofield will, but he just gets the job done. He completes almost all his passes. He has great talent around him. There's a reason why they're always at Gillette. He's been there for 4 years, doing a great job with that program.
And he's a physical kid.
Yeah.
He's a beast. He's 230, 235, and he wants to run kids over. Alex Child's another one who came over to this country when he was like 8 years old, and so he's learning English. Then he's learning the sport of football. He's a really good player. And also I want to mention, too, because Danny Boyle is retiring from North, and he's been the head coach at North for the last 10 years, was assistant before that. Danny Boyle has done such a great job of being a role model and a mentor to so many kids in that North High program. And I just say congratulations to you, Coach Boyle. You have been everything that a coach should be in high school football, and I just want to congratulate you on a great run because he's been awesome.
He's been fantastic. That program has been in good hands for the last 20 years with him and Mike Ross and those guys. You can't say enough about Boyle. He's more than a coach for all these kids.
Yeah, he teaches AP classes at North High, so he does a tremendous job, and they got a win for him on Thanksgiving to send him off.
Which is nice.
Send him off a winner from the Polar Bears. All right, the teams. What about Nipmuc? I mean, Nipmuc 3 times in a row. They're in the state semifinals. They make it this year to Gillette. They finally kind of get over the hump, at least in one sense. But they're a team. I looked back when the Frenzy Marathon was on over Thanksgiving, and I'm looking at Nipmuc. I'm looking at the power ratings when we were talking about it. Oh, yeah. You guys were in a lab wearing like goggles at one point.
Remember that year? That was fantastic.
Yeah, Nipmuc was 6-3.
We actually did show prep.
They were on. Nipmuc was 6-3. They were on top of their division then. It just seems like Nipmuc was still a relatively young football program. Is at the top or right around there every year. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, Coach Hill and his staff deserve a lot of credit for that too. I mean, it's. They get the kids, they play a certain brand of football. That's physical, hard-nosed football, and the kids all buy into it. They all take a lot of pride into it, and like you said, it's a small school, so to have that success year after year is very difficult because they're not someone that has 110 kids in the program that can just roll over these, the next generation year after year. So it's a credit to the kids, but it's also a credit to Coach Hill and his staff and what they've set up and the foundation they've built over there.
All right, make an enemy right now. Who wins Nipmuc BVT this year if they're both at full strength and if they had played on Thanksgiving with their starters?
We'll get to that later, I guess.
I wish they did.
They're not going to play it later, right?
No, they should. Why not?
The Lacombe Bowl isn't going to happen.
No, I like the Lacombe Bowl.
If I had the money, if I win the Mega Bucks, the Mega Millions, it'll happen
next week. Maybe we could get one of these colleges to sponsor it and just so they can play on turf. Yeah. A week from Saturday, boom, play on. I think it'd be awesome. And again, we talked about this too, in terms of them not playing on Thanksgiving. You know what? That's the system. Don't blame either coach or either team because the goal is to get to Gillette Stadium and to win a state championship. Neither one was going to play their starters. So Jim and I were talking about this. So do you want to pay $10 or $15 to go to a freshman or JV game on Thanksgiving? It wouldn't be fair to the fans. And it's certainly the coaches are doing what they're supposed to do the way the system's laid out. And that's win at Gillette Stadium, so you rest your starters. They weren't going to play starters versus starters.
Once I saw what the weather was supposed to be, and the team started moving games to Wednesday, which really made my week great. It was just, that was the move to make. It was the kids, like you said, it's to be a freshman JV game for the most part. Let's keep the kids healthy for the playoffs. What you really want, win a state title. That's what the goal is. And it's just like you said, product of the system. Thanksgiving games are just for show now. So, let's make the decision that's best for the program.
Right.
Who was the best team in Upton this year?
I don't know. I would settle it on the field. I would say you got to see those two go head to head on the field.
I'm going to go with Arch just to watch them throw something on the TV.
You're going to say Arch is the best team.
I think they get that win.
Nipmuc, I'll tell you what, big offensive line back. I'd like to see my man Yukon Cornelius with the red beard for BVT going back at him the other way. I'll tell you, it's a good matchup.
They both have tall receivers and defensive backs that they could throw good, like one-on-one, hang it up and let them go.
Both are real good. Nipmuc returned. Brony's back next year. Gould's back next year. The quarterback's back. Judah Dishington's back next year. And Valley Tech is going to reload. He's going to find the kids to get it back in there again and piss off everybody because they're playing the division they shouldn't be playing in, and Arch loves that. So it'll be fantastic. Get his Twitter fingers going.
All right, so Jordan Amaro, right?
Yep.
Amaro's a young kid. He's coming back next year.
They'll be fine. They're great staff.
They're talented group all the way around. All right, so they didn't play on Thanksgiving. We think it'd be a close game.
Yeah, I think so.
There were some games that weren't close on Thanksgiving.
Right, a lot of
some rivalries. Many weren't close.
Right.
Even Bartlett-Southbridge wasn't close.
No.
So it's still a very
Prouty-Lester.
good rivalry. Prouty-Lester. Are there some Thanksgiving matchups? We have about a minute to play here.
Go ahead, Jim.
That need to reconsider where they're playing?
I like the ones that are historical and the ones that have been going on for 70 years or so. I'd hate to see them, I don't want to see Bartlett-Southbridge go away because I think it's important for the town. It still means something even though they're going 90, depending on which historian you look at. It's either 97, 98, 99 years, whatever they want to call it. We'll get that into another show. But I think I like those because I'm a history guy. I like the significance. But the ones that are new and just because they need their Thanksgiving game, let's get it competitive.
Okay.
Maybe trade some teams around. There's nobody to be worried about the fact that that rivalry's not happening anymore. We're 1-6 in that. Let's move on.
All right, we got about 20 seconds, Kev. Bartlett-Southbridge is staying. St. John, St. Peter Marion?
Unless St. Peter's co-ops with Holy Name, which I think is going to happen this year. I think in the offseason this year you're going to hear an announcement. St. Peter's and Holy Name are going to co-op. If they don't, then the rivalry has to go away because it's a disservice to the St. Peter's kids and the St. John's kids. It's not competitive, and it's not safe.
Okay.
It's not safe.
All right, well, that's where we're going to have to end it, Jim. Thanks so much for being here.
There's so many more rivalries to take
I know, all year long. Appreciate Jim Wilson, Kevin Shea. We're back with more of the Frenzy right after this.
Man of the match time. I will give my man of the match to the BVT coaching staff led by head coach Jimmy Archibald and the D coordinator Anthony Landini. Great job all year.
The great Landini, of course. Two quarterbacks get it from me. Sam Belinsky from Nashoba, Scott McKay from BVT, leading their teams and leading their teams to victory. Two QBs amongst the team effort this year.
Just great leaders. Yeah. Great leaders and had great stats as well. Well, it was another great year for us. We thank you, as always, all the coaches, athletic directors, and you, the viewers, and the players, too, especially, for letting us be part of your fun every Friday night and all through the playoffs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year.